Hello myself, this is Sunil Ramakrishnan. Basically, this is basically the PHP one of the part basically. In this one of the person told that your PHP is over, and then basically why you are displaying this basically. This is just a simple variable basically, which is getting assigned. Yes, basically you are correct basically. This is just a simple variable basically, which is getting assigned basically. So here one of the person Sunil Arnar basically told that this seems to be very simple variable basically, but it's very dangerous basically connecting to, and this basically might have many parts basically. So one of the person told that how basically you can say that you are 100% so confident that this is very dangerous part basically. So let's basically start with this most dangerous part basically in PHP. So one of the person told that as you basically Sunil Arna told that basically each and every variable initialization or basically each and every line basically is connecting to the physical location. So this is basically one physical location, right? Basically. So Sunil Arna told that yes, basically this is basically connecting to the physical location. So if Sunil Arna basically tells that this will go to up to 10,000 cities, just this single line basically will connect to the 10,000 cities, then you will able to believe it basically. No, basically nobody will believe it basically, and this is basically the PHP designing error, not PHP designing basically. This is the error of C++ and C. Why? Because PHP is created by C and C++ group basically, so we can't blame the PHP group basically, but you have to be clear with the C++ department, but for that basically you have to reach to that group basically who actually created the PHP, who actually created the PHP designing basically. So here basically let's basically start with this part basically. So one of the person told that this line will connect to the 10,000 cities. So one person told that you told that basically if conditions basically are there, then if condition is also basically created from 10,000 cities, no? So that for example basically assume that basically this variable equal to some variable basically assigned. So that variable basically itself basically have some physical locations, then the value basically have some physical location, and by chance basically internally somebody say that basically we can add here the internal if conditions basically, then this will connect to 100% 10,000 city. So this video basically is not for those group basically who actually designed the PHP. This is not for those group basically who actually are the framework developer, the PHP hardcode coder basically. They basically can't able to understand this basically. Why? Because this thing which I am telling basically, that I am 100% sure basically nobody in India basically can understand this basically. So don't try to basically understand basically, but try to understand basically what actually I want to say basically here. If in future basically I will upload this type of videos, so that basically, and this basically thing I am uploading since basically I think more than 1 month before only basically. So since 1 month basically I am uploading this, and text box equal to 1,000 cities, that basically I am uploading since more than 1 year basically. So here basically the stuff is, this is going to connect to the each and every user controls also basically cities. So user controls equal to more than 10,000 cities basically. So one of the person Sunil Arnar basically told that this is going to connect to the birth also basically, that is the DNA logic basically. For example, assume that basically one birth basically happened, so in birth 100% basically the PHP data is also going to be contained. When birth basically happens, birth means within 9 months basically the birth happens of the child basically. So that basically contains from human souls, sperms basically are there, like this basically girls data basically adds, like this basically the birth data basically comes into the picture basically. And here one of the person told that, one of the person means I am only telling that basically this single line basically is connecting to the earthquakes. This single line is basically connecting to the tsunamis data. This single line is connecting to the lava data, lava blast basically. Whenever happens that lava get blast, that lava data basically when comes outside the land basically, that lava blast basically. Tsunami, tsunami, like this basically the rain get blast, highest rain basically get blast, like this sea water basically get inside the city. This everything basically is in this single line basically. So one of the percent is how you are so 100% confident, because this is connecting to the 10th more than 10,000 cities. If this is connecting to more than 10,000 cities, that means this is connecting to, so one of the percent of the how you can decode this basically. So that basically in this world basically, not in world basically, I am telling you in this universe basically nobody can decode this basically. If he will decode by chance basically he is going to decode, then I am 100% sure basically lots of basically stuff will come into the picture basically from this just single one line basically. So one of the person told that this is basically the challenging project basically, that is decoding this one single line basically, because this line is going to connect to 10,000 cities. So one person told that if this text box equal to, we can clearly basically assign that this text box data is supposed to go to that city only, but for that also you have to use the if condition basically. This is for specially for C++ designer basically, who actually designed the C++ and who actually designed the PHP basically. So if you will add here if condition in that single value basically, the if condition is also created from more than 5,000 6,000 cities, then what you will do? So that's very dangerous stuff basically, and this is connecting to the DNA also basically. This is connecting to the DNA, and this is the biggest error of the software, not software basically, is you can say the group basically who is connecting to the, who is connecting the computers and the construction areas basically, that are the nuclear power company group basically, who actually are doing the integration between, for example, this variable basically is going to generate what basically, it is just going to assign one data basically into the txt variable basically of the php, but to assign this basically variable when it connects to the live environment basically, that time it is going to connect to the 10,000 cities. And by chance basically some smart person basically told that after watching this video basically he added some if condition, that if condition will connect to the 20,000 5,000 6,000 cities. So one of the person told that this is connecting to the tsunami, this is connecting to the earthquakes. If you do one of the person told that who is master in earthquake basically, that is basically France group basically. So France group basically one got a challenging project basically to decode this single variable basically. You will able to get the information of your earthquake data. Few parts of the earthquake is basically coming from this PHP basically. So one of the person told that do you think basically the France group will take this initiative basically? Why? Because this data is connected with the American group basically, and American group basically everybody knows basically they don't share the data basically, but American government only don't know basically. One of the person told that Sunil basically can we ask American government that where is this 10,000 cities? Then Sunil Armar will see that basically American government also basically don't know about this 10,000 cities basically. I will tell one more thing basically. The tariff thing basically the Trump basically has created, that basically is directly connecting to the World Health Organization, but they only have the data of prices of each and every items, that is actually connecting to the prices of each and every items basically. But that when we decode the pricing data basically, it will connect to the World Health Organization, and that is going to connect to the each and every blood cells group basically, that is the blood cells group owner data basically, that is the A plus date, A plus blood group, B plus blood group, like this basically it is going to connect up to that level database. So here we are not going to discuss that basically, but we later on basically we will be going to discuss. So here the stuff is this single variable is connecting to the 10,000 cities, and this is connecting to the tsunami, air tsunami, earthquakes, and France basically got one more project basically, that is decoding this text variable, just a single one line basically. You will connect to the earthquake data. So in next video basically we are going to see little bit more about this topic.